Hello, everybody. We are back after the rest day with round 7 of the European Women's Chess Championships. Diana today playing a girl from Romania, someone pretty young. I think she's 14 maybe. Playing a local player. Leah Alexandra Maria. Too many first names for my taste in that name, to be entirely clear. But okay, let's... Am I on mute? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, you were on mute? Okay, that's good. So everybody can hear me. That's step 1 to successful broadcast, I suppose. Let's see what happened in the opening. I think our motto for today was preparation is overrated. So yeah, there was a rest day yesterday, but let's just say preparation isn't necessarily as thorough as in some of the other rounds. But okay, let's see what happened in the opening. d4, as we had planned, and her opponent played into this. She tried to get her e6. Well, Diana was thinking maybe she would go into a Nimzo, but then decided that no, okay, maybe it's better to let her play her Queen's Indian. With this Knight of 3 move, basically an anti-Nimzo, so that the point being that bishop here can be answered by something else than Knight c3, most commonly bishop d2. Knight d2 is another option, but yeah, bishop d2, so that this whole point of the Nimzo bishop isn't quite there. But okay, let's see how it continued. She played her Queen's Indian, as we expected. Diana went for the G3 line. And here, I think one option was D5. I think that would be the main theoretical move. Okay, but I think Diana over the board decided she would play castles. I don't think that was necessarily prep here to castle. But it doesn't really, like, as I said, we didn't really prep as much today. It was mainly saying, just play the game. Yeah, okay, so bishops were exchanged. And d6. Interesting. d6, I think queen c7 is the main move here, if I remember correctly. But okay, d6, and then let me just quickly update what was played. Knight c3, a6. Okay, interesting. Maybe her opponent's trying to transposition into the darling opening, except she's missing a pawn. Unfortunately, so we can't play the darling anymore. And then e4. Knight bd7 and f4. Okay, so Diana, no fear, saying, okay, this light square bishop isn't there anymore, so we can open our upper king on this diagonal. It's not so big of a deal. f4 is still a bit of a brave move for now, but okay, I don't mind it at all. And then her opponent played queen to c7. Finally, she played it after all. Now I guess we can... let's see. I guess we can play b3 and develop our bishop later, or we can also play queen e2 maybe. But I don't think that would necessarily be what we want to do, because we want maybe to keep. Well, Anyway, I think there's a lot of things to do here, and I like White's position. I think we have a lot of space. We have potentials to break open the position if we want to. We have our knights developed reasonably. This knight here isn't entirely clear on what it wants to do yet. Definitely things to do. Hey, Marologist. For me, creativity starts with what it's like, what if it takes place in a white. I don't know what that means. Good luck, Diana. Yes. Good luck to Diana. I hope she, well, we're all hoping that she does well today. I think the toughest challenge today is less her opponent. I think today the toughest challenge is playing against her own mentality, because of course, if anybody watched the last game, that had a bit of a brutal ending, where she was completely winning. She was up a piece in the end game. She was up a piece in the end game, and somehow didn't manage, or well, somehow lost the game in the end. Hey Goku, how are you doing? Hope you're good. Yeah, so Diana's playing her round 7 today. She's white again. And we got this position, which looks a bit unorthodox. I think maybe we were expecting her opponent to play Benoni. But okay, she played her Queen's Indian, also something we looked at. But yeah, as I said before, today the preparation wasn't exactly as thorough as it has maybe been on the previous rounds. I think today's biggest issue is just getting over the tough loss that Diana had in the last round from a completely winning position. Not exactly good, but that's life. Well, yeah, I guess it is. Hope you're gonna be all right. Yeah, that is life. I mean, this morning we were watching some videos of people in Afghanistan trying to get out of the country at the Kabul airport, and well, I guess there's always perspective. I mean, playing a chess game, losing a chess game may not be so bad if you consider what's going on in the rest of the world. Hey Einsteiny, I'm good. How are you? Yeah, the situation is rather unpleasant. Yeah. Didn't take very long either. This is not against the Sicilian Einsteiny. It came from a Queen's Indian. I can just show the game real quick. So we toyed with the idea of going into the Nimzo, but the problem is Diana doesn't play c4. So if we went into this line here with c4, e6, knight c3, the Nimzo would have been fine, but of course her opponent can here also play this, and then we get into this kind of Queen's Gambit declined structure where, yeah, that's not something she wants to get into necessarily. So the decision was that, yeah, avoiding this kind of a line and just going for an anti-Nimzo with knight f3. And she went for her Queen's Indian. The other thing she plays here is c5, the Benoni, like this type of Benoni. I'm not exactly sure what, there are like different names for the different kinds of Benoni positions, but like I'll just call it a Benoni and be done with that. Yeah, our opponent's pretty young. She's pretty young for sure, but not. We looked at some games and she doesn't seem to be hugely underrated. If we modern Benoni, okay, well, if you say so, Johnny, I'll just believe you on that one. Modern Benoni. And anyway, this was the game. Here, Diana castled. Here, Diana castled. The main move would have been d5, e takes, and then her opponent previously played d6, and this kind of a situation. Yeah, but that's not what happened. We traded the bishops and got into this position where her opponent just puts a bunch of pawns on the 6th rank and eventually played queen c7, while Diana started pushing some of her kingside pawns. Yeah, no move so far. Diana's thinking. Her opponent is at 1 hour and 19 minutes. Diana's at 1 hour and 5 minutes, so a little bit down on the clock. But yeah, I think her position's nice. Got a decent position off the opening. I'm not exactly sure. She's been thinking here for 7 minutes. Although, to me, it seems like you can't just play b3. Although she might be thinking of something like, I don't know, something violent. Something like this, or I'm not exactly sure. Maybe also queen e2. Maybe you can try to sacrifice something. Yeah, well, exactly. But if you play this, I think you don't mind this so much because you get your knight into here, and I think this is not something that black necessarily wants. They're going to be up a pawn, but if we just look at this position, what do you mean you can't win it? I mean, this is definitely, I mean, this must be good for white, even down a pawn. I mean, must be good for white, I would imagine. Like, what do you play here is black even. I mean, you have to move your queen somewhere. I'm not sure where you want to go. I don't think you want to go to c7, so c8 or c6. Let's say c6. And then, I mean, here. I mean, I like white here. I definitely much prefer white, even at the cost of the pawn. Bishop's coming in, rook's coming in. I think this queen's coming in here, maybe. I think this must be significantly better for white. Knight f6, you're saying? Okay. I mean, I don't know. I think... Oh, yeah, not here. Like, this structure is just so bad for black. Like, bishop doesn't have anywhere to go. Maybe you just give the pawn back. Not sure. Get what? Queen e2, you're saying? Instead of f5 or b3. I think b3 is the most calm move. Queen e2, yeah. I mean, seems like a move as well. I'm here, and then you play b3. I'm not sure where. I mean, I think the rook wants to go to c8 anyway, so I'm not entirely sure if we want to play the queen there first. I think b3 is a little bit more flexible. Yeah, but I agree, Goku, but I just think that maybe playing b3 instead of queen e2, because rook's gonna come to c8 anyway at some point. If we play b3 right away, then we have a little bit more flexibility with the queen. If we want to ever move it to another square for some reason, other than e2, then it might be easier. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the same thing. Because e2 does look like a good square for the queen. With white king exposed and e4 as a target, it's not easy. Otherwise, hedgehog would be refuted, I guess you're saying? Yeah, I mean, but the hedgehog is the hedgehog. I mean, there's no, it's maybe not refuted, but it's also not brilliant, is it? Oh, hey, Luke, by the way. If you ever want to come in, you're always welcome. Oh, by the way, Gokul, you were asking about what we did on the rest day. We didn't really do that much. We made some food and just had a bit of a relaxing day, and then we went to the cinema in the evening. We watched Suicide Squad. Has anybody seen Suicide Squad? We weren't exactly sure what to expect, but I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie, but it was quite something. Quite something. I'm not really a superhero movie type of person, but, well, not but like, and I was a bit, it was a bit spicy, for sure. Okay, bishop e3 she played. Okay. What do we think about this one? So, I mean, I guess the first thing we do is look at takes. Why can't she take? I guess rook c1, and she's gonna get in some trouble, is the thought. Is that true? Okay, Luke, come on with your analogy. Why are superhero movies like hot dogs out of a truck? You've watched every MCU film. Nice, Coco, nice. So, have you seen Suicide Squad as well, or is that? Forgive me if that's not even a Marvel film. I don't know what's Marvel and what's DC and whatever. So, forgive my ignorance. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. Well, yeah. Interesting movie for sure. Yeah, probably won't unless you watch it with a friend. Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely not watched it alone. But I think it was funny. Like, let's just say there was a lot of laughter in the cinema. A lot of laughter. Because sometimes you get a really good hot dog, but 95% of the time, you get the same old shit with some sprinkle of whatever the old white man who owns the place likes on top of it. Nice. Okay. That's the kind of thing I was expecting. Good. Very nice. It's quite. Oh no, actually, it's a new one. Like, there's a new Suicide Squad movie. Like, it just came out. I'm not exactly sure when it came out, but like last month or something. I mean, I'm not exactly sure you can call it a sequel. but it's like probably the same concept. Anyway, okay. Yeah, just to redo. I think so as well. I think probably. I mean, I haven't seen the first one, but it didn't seem like the kind of thing that would have a prequel. So it didn't seem like a sequel for sure. Okay, so we don't want to take here because rook c1 and what do you play? I don't know. And you can try to run away again or something. But you're gonna get destroyed. So not what you want to do for sure. Taking this pawn, let me actually just make bishop e3 the main line really quickly. Because yeah, so I guess black will just do something normal development, and we're gonna do something normal, and then we're gonna see where we end up. And we do have some ideas about this pawn at some point. I like white's position. I mean, black is playing a hedgehog. White's got a space advantage. Has the opportunity to break with f5 at some point, maybe even e5 at a different point. But yeah, definitely things to do here for white. Definitely things to be hopeful about. My friend got me into Invincible on Netflix. That was pretty good though. What's Invincible, Johnny O? I've never heard of it. For the most part, I'm the same, not knowing DC from Marvel and such. Yeah, I'm not. Like, the only superhero thing I've watched is I've watched a bit of The Arrow, but like only the first 2 seasons or something. Invincible. So what is it about? Someone tell me. If I need to watch it. Very good, Luke is saying. And Luke is not easily impressed, I think, so. Some lad who's invincible. Okay, actually, I guess I could have figured that one out for myself. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now her opponent is thinking. Diana's at 1 hour and 1 minute. Her opponent is at 1 hour and 12 minutes. So a little bit behind on time, but that's okay. And as I said before, like, there was not really any prep, or well, there wasn't really much prep done, apart from looking at what she plays and deciding kind of what line roughly we're going to play. But even that, after playing castles here instead of d5, I think both players were sort of in new territory. So I think this is pretty much, I mean, there have been games in this, even by strong players. But here, since there's nothing in the database anymore, at least on Lichess. Knight bd7 was where everything ended, and I think the players were out of prep before that, so yeah. You can rely on Diana, maybe figuring things out on the board. I think that's generally where her strengths are anyway, not necessarily in the prep so much. Although it must be said that she did get nice positions in a couple of her games out of her opening prep. Like her last round, she got this French with g5, kind of what she wanted. And I think that was that was good for her opening wise. Even though it's like objectively okay for white, but like it's the kind of position she likes. And this, I think still, I mean, she can put on some pressure with these pawn breaks. Definitely has some things to do. Okay, go cool, see you later. Have fun at work or whatever you have at work. Maybe not fun, but like endure. I don't know. See you later. Johnny O says, superhero cartoon produced by Seth Rogen and tries to be more realistic and funny. More realistic and a superhero movie. That must be good. "55 minutes, Luke. That's very specific. Very specific. So at 3 p.m. Irish time, I guess. I hope Diana hasn't won by that point. Or actually, I hope she does, but you would miss it. That would be a tragedy for you. But yeah, okay. 5 minutes sounds good. I hope my voice can last that long. And her opponent's still thinking. Yeah. Bit of a quiet position, really. So let's just. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I guess she's calculating takes, but that does look awfully scary. If you just see that after takes rook c1, you're in real trouble if you pull the queen back. And if you don't put the queen back, I mean, you're obviously still in big trouble. I mean, yeah, this just looks very unpleasant for black. Eventually, you're going to have something with this knight. Eventually, you're going to have something on c7. And the king needs to get out of dodge quite quickly for that to be prevented. And I think white should probably be completely winning here. Okay, so if she realizes, I hope she plays it, but can never, maybe she's like, okay, Diana is just playing this out of frustration, trying to play a little bit speculatively, because obviously her opponent will know what happened in Diana's last game as well. She might be looking for some, you know, lapses mentally. Like, Diana was obviously very, very heartbroken by that last loss, and I think it's still weighing on her. She was finding it kind of hard to prepare because she was just very frustrated. Yeah, I assume bishop e7 and castles is the plan for black, but her opponent's been thinking for 12 minutes now. She's been thinking for quite a while. I'm not exactly sure why she's thinking for that long. Maybe she's planning on some rook move, rather. I mean, maybe she wants to play. I don't know what she wants to play. Maybe she wants. But actually, none of this makes sense to me. So, like, rook b8 and then eventually b5, but that doesn't seem like a plan that you would really want. So I'm not sure what exactly she's thinking about. Maybe she wants. You could also be thinking about queen b7, I guess. Queen e7 is an opportunity to put some pressure here. And what would Diana do then? So queen b7. If bishop e7 was played, let's just really quickly look at what would have happened on queen to b7. I guess you don't really want to defend this because I don't think white wants to go queen f3. That seems like it sort of sterilizes the position a bit, too much. Because, I mean, this is not a good square for the queen for the moment, I don't think. And even if you say, okay, eventually I want to play f5, then f5 is always going to be something that you have aggressive intentions with. And if you play it now, takes, and somehow the queens end up getting traded, that would not be great. But okay, it doesn't really matter, because after bishop e3, bishop e7 was played. Yeah, so that's sort of what we expected. I think that's the most solid move, probably the best move, probably what Diana was thinking about as well. Well, sorry, I'm a bit tired today, everybody. I'm not sure. The rest day wasn't so resting, I guess. At least for me. Both players castling, things we love to see. Well, last game was going pretty well without castling. But yeah, seeing Diana castled, opponent maybe castling, so she can get checkmated on the king side. That's always good. We know where to aim. And now what do we do? I mean, I guess rook c1 is a move. Maybe queen e2 now, or b3 still. Something like that. I think some queen move, queen d2 or queen e2. I guess queen e2 makes more sense. Or rook c1. And then her opponent's probably going to castle at some point. I mean, actually, we also can think about when we want to play f5 or e5. So actually, I guess on every move, we kind of want to consider it. I doubt that this last move changed anything in particular. I don't think f5 or e5 became any more attractive on this last move, but I think we want to keep an eye out for sure, for whenever we can make this break happen on favorable terms. Sorry I keep talking about the Mora, but queen takes c4 and white would have had the opportunity to go for a lot of Mora-like attacks. That's why I thought that black should play safe. Well, I think queen c4, I think it might give white opportunities to go for attacks, but like structurally, but also I think concretely it gives white a lot of opportunities to attack. I think even tactically it doesn't work. I think with the queen on c4 and this being available at some point, I think that's going to turn out badly for black. Not because this is a good structure for white, but because actually tactically, with the queen on c4 and the rook on c1, you're gonna be in some trouble. Yeah, I think. Yeah. But okay, the Mora, yeah, it's something I've played as well. Definitely good to look for these similarities in positions. And that's, I think, you can take ideas from and reuse them if you can spot some similarities and spot some ideas that might work in one that you can apply to the other. Normally Diana has a position like this with black and we would be worried for her, so white must be doing well here. That's the kind of logic I like, Luke. That is the kind of logic that makes sense to me. If we would like this for Diana's opponent, we should like it for her. I think I just froze the camera, didn't I? Let me just quickly fix that. Give me a second. I don't know what happened there. Okay, I think it should be back. I just kind of moved my screen a little bit because the sun is very annoying here. All the shutters are down, but it's peering in between them. Very frustrating habit it has there. Yeah, trying to make e5 a strong move somehow for white, but without black seeing it coming and not getting a solid plan. Yeah, I think these breaks are definitely, if black ever underestimates them, I think that's going to be something where white can get winning chances from. Like, if black at some points lets it happen in a fashion that is favorable for white, I think their position might just collapse quite quickly. So black definitely has to be quite careful here. But once they're castled, that should maybe be doable, at least for the moment. I don't see any super concrete danger yet. Oh, sorry everybody, I'm really tired today. I'm not sure what's been happening. Oh wow, one game is already a draw. Actually, let's just quickly. Actually, not out that late. I think yesterday, like, after the round, like after round 5, before the rest day, we were up a little bit later, but yesterday we weren't up that late, actually. I wasn't up that late. Well, I mean, you can rest on the rest day, and then you just want more rest after the rest day. Like, yeah. Maybe I'm just too used to the rest now, and my body wants more of it. That's usually how it goes. Resting is a bit addictive. But okay, let me just quickly see. There's already been a draw. I'm just curious what kind of bullshit draw they went for. Because actually, you're not allowed to make a move, make a draw offer before move 30, I think. So it's interesting that they already managed to get one anyway. Let's see which game that was. Well, they actually played 25 moves in an hour. So that's impressive. D4 and F6. Oh, a Grunfeld. Normally not. I mean, this is like a GM drawing weapon, I guess. Rook B1 line. Luke is a big fan of this one. Probably telling you that white's winning at this point, but not everybody agrees, I guess. Okay, they went for this exchange line. This pawn drops. I've actually seen a couple games in this one. Another pawn goes. Okay, another trade. I mean, Luke, is this some sort of known line here, or what are we witnessing here? It doesn't find any games in the database, but this is the Lichess database that has been a bit damaged, I think. Okay, so Queen is given up for this perpetual. So the point is that the rook blocks the bishop from being taken, so the king has to move. This is the only square that the rook can go to, because if it goes here and tries to take the queen, you're already down a queen, so that doesn't work. I mean, let's just show here, for example, takes, and then you're going to be, I mean, in a bit of trouble here as white, maybe. I mean, can't be pleasant, at least. I'm not sure if this might. This was played by two Super GMs recently. They just copied the game. Okay, well, then maybe this was some sort of arranged thing. I think they're both Romanian, actually. Don't want to say give any wrong information here, but I think both Romanian players. Maybe they just are friends or something and wanted to draw. This happens. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to Diana's game. Let's see if any move's been played. Bishop b7, Diana's been thinking for 12 minutes. What was the ELO difference? Let me see. A little bit. Let me just quickly. One was 22:41, and one was 23:11. So not a terribly big difference. 70 points. I don't think that's quite right there, Waterford Wizard. But maybe my math is faulty. I think it's 70 points. But yeah, I mean, higher rated and black and went for the draw, and white and went for the draw. But I guess maybe she also wanted another rest day. Maybe she was also tired from all the rest and wanted a quick game. One of the top players was getting loads of shit because they played that line loads of times the last few months for quick draws. Who are we talking about? Takata, who was getting shit for making the draws. I always wonder because at least some Super GM. Interesting. Yes, Robert, California. Yesterday was a rest day. I'm not sure like how many of the players used it for intense prep and how many went for like a little bit of relaxation, maybe getting to know the city or doing something fun. I can tell you that Diana did not do any chess. She was a bit sick of the chess after that slightly painful game there. Diana's still burning time. What's the right way to attack here? Well, I think you need to do some setting up before you attack. So I think a normal move would be rook c1. I think another normal move would be queen e2. Yeah, I think queen e2 is maybe what I would play out of instinct. Just because it connects your rooks, it puts the queen onto a useful square where it defends some stuff, it supports e5 sometimes. I think that might not be the worst idea. I mean, maybe you can also, I guess black can castle next move if you play queen f3. Let's see, queen f3, and if they castle now, because you're kind of looking for things like this, maybe if this ever does anything, this and this. But I guess you can also just move the rook if... Oh, Rajabov, yeah, I guess he gets gets a bit of shit for making draws when he in these things when he's already qualified for the playoffs. Actually, yeah, I've heard that as well. Didn't know that this line was something that he played, but yeah. So does he do it as white, or does he do it as black, or both sides, or what are we talking about here? Is this his sort of thing? I guess they have different lines that they can make these easy draws in. I mean, they have this Berlin draw, a couple Berlin draws, then they have this line, and some repetitions, and I think in some Najdorf as well, don't they? I think that Grunfeld line got played like 3 times in one day between different players. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, it's always a bit silly at these Super GM tournaments where they actually then get into the mode where they don't have to win anymore, where draw is just good enough. But I think that's actually sort of a tournament structure fault and can't really blame any of the players. Whereas like when Wesley plays oh geez, okay. G4. Bishop e7, g4. Well, I mean, let's go, I guess. That's a move I wasn't looking at. But okay, we like it. I think we like it when she goes for these things. And her opponent very quickly played queen b7. And then I guess we're playing. What are we playing? Queen f3 or f5 or. I think we have some tricks here, so that doesn't work. Because the knight does not have any checks because of the 2 squares diagonal. So we don't need to defend this pawn for the moment. Yeah, you can never blame players. Players in the system will always make the optimal plays. Yeah, I think that's true to some extent. I think when both players are incentivized to make a draw, that's different though than from like other situations where, for example, like even in these over-the-board tournaments, when players like, for example, Nakamura and So, when they make these draws that like even when the tournament situation doesn't necessarily force them to, they basically just refuse to play against each other. I think that comes very close to like, I mean, it has a bit of a ring of match fixing to it when you say we just every result between us is always going to be a draw when we play, and like we're treating it like a rest day, like a free half point, like a half point buy. Then it becomes a little bit dodgy in my opinion, but okay. I mean, maybe we shouldn't talk about such controversial topics anyway on Diana's channel. Yeah, I mean, I think she would have actually. I mean, I think if she would have won that game and then played some really strong opponent, let's say she would have won that game yesterday, and not yesterday, but like in round 6, as she should have done. If she had won that game and then played against some 2400 the next day, like today, I think then she might have just done chess as well on the rest day. But I think playing against her opponent, who is now like 1800 something rated, and after that tough loss, I think her priority was more getting her mind off things, and I think there was very little appeal to doing chess on that day. So yeah, It went from look like a ton of games in the Sicilian to me from now looking like a pawn storm that would result from a bot winning English. This is my favorite thing she has played yet. It makes sense to me even if what I'm saying probably doesn't. Well, it certainly... I mean, when you throw around these opening names, well, you're gonna have to talk to someone who knows more openings than me. I don't know that many openings that deeply, especially not by name, so... Nursing a hangover, well, I don't think that was quite it. Like, drunk is maybe not what I would describe her state at the end of the round 6 day. Still early. Are you in the US, Johnny O? You're in the US, right? Like East Coast? I guess? What do you mean Queen B7 is winning the pawn, is it? Why is it winning the pawn? Arizona, okay, so not East Coast. What do you mean how to defend? Wait, where's the line? E4, Queen B7. Let me just... Yes, the pawn is hanging. I mean, I see that the pawn is hanging, but can it actually be taken? Because if you take it with the knight, then Queen F3, and then I mean Knight C5 is coming. Okay. Well, I mean you need to do something quick, I guess here. I mean F5 or something of the sort. Maybe Queen F3 and then F5, or something that comes with a bit of a punch. No, G4 was not prep, being bad at chess. I think we're long out of prep. I think we're out of prep, basically. Well, this could have been prep, but I don't think it was actually prep, at least not the prep I saw. I think E5 was the prep, maybe this was something else she looked at as well. I mean, we looked at this briefly, but I don't think that was actually what the plan was. And then this, at the latest, D6, and then we were out of prep. So it's just like nothing you prep for anymore. I think this is just a position where so many things can happen, and it's not like her opponent had ever played in this before, so in this hedgehog structure, I think, yeah, there's nothing that was specifically prepped for. Anyway, so Queen B7, and Diana's thinking, I mean, I would have assumed that she had a plan for, I would have assumed that she had a plan for whatever she wanted to do after Queen B7. G4 is an angry chess move, yeah, that's for sure. It's an angry move. It's a bit of a Diana move for sure. Actually, Luke, now that I think about it, if you go Knight C5, you can play B4, can't you? And then this and G5. Because this is pinned, and if you move this away, then this hangs. Yeah, so I think this would be good for white, so maybe that's what she's calculating. I keep jumping from line to line here. Sorry, I think this is, yeah. Yeah, the king is safe from knight checks. I guess this is something for newer players. Whenever you have this 2 square diagonal, like 2 squares diagonally from the knight, it's going to be very difficult for the knight to get to this square 2 squares diagonally away. It's going to take a very awkward route, like to get to this square. Right, so you have to do something like this if you ever want to like find the knight route. It's actually a very interesting game you can play with yourself. Find the shortest knight routes to certain squares, and sometimes you'll think like there should be a shorter way, but some squares are really awkward to reach with knights. b4 is a good move, holding position together. In that case, I love g4, grabbing all the space. Yeah, I think b4 definitely a bit of an intimidation move for sure. Like, looks a bit scary for black that all these pawns are just rolling forward, especially when you know that what kind of player Diana is. You don't want to necessarily see yourself in this position against her. And like, let's say she plays something careless, her opponent does. Like, I don't know what Diana will play, but oh, actually, no, she hasn't played yet. Never mind. She's a bit low on time. I would like her to make a move now. Make a lunch, then we'll be on call. Okay, see you in a bit, Luke. Yeah, I think if black plays a bit carelessly here, they could be in real trouble. Let's say Diana plays, I don't know, queen f3 here, and then her opponent does something like castle. I think you might just be lost already. Like, I don't know this, but like, I'm just guessing, but you're gonna be under a lot of pressure. What else is there to play instead of queen f3? Well, that's an interesting question. I think you can still probably play rook c1, but I don't think that's necessarily the most compatible thing. I mean, I was looking earlier into f5, but because this still works, right? I think black can never take this pawn yet. Any merit to long castles? Oh, Johnny O. Okay, well, let's look at that. Queen of 3, long castles. I mean, I would say most definitely not, but because like your pieces are going to be like very far away, and your bishop's pointing here, your knights are already kind of on the queen side. Your pawns on this side are just as quick as your king side pawns, because this pawn structure doesn't necessarily lend itself to defense on the queen side. So I think this would be slightly suicidal. I think both sides castling without preparing it first would be a little bit of a disaster. But also, like, I don't know, maybe just b4 right away. I think this would look very, very, very dangerous, and I think you'd get wiped off the board. Yeah, for sure. I mean, always something to think about. I mean, I think this is actually something that if it does ever work, then you can easily miss it, because to my eyes, like to my instinct, long castles looks like such a strange move in this position that I wouldn't even... It's easy not to consider it, but you should always consider these kinds of moves, because they might quickly shift the ideas of a position quite dramatically. And if you're not ready for it, and if you're like too committed to a kingside attack before the king is actually locked on the king side, then you might be in some trouble. Because after all, you do open up your own king a bit if you play like f4, g4. So if black was somehow very quick on the attack and got his king to safety temporarily on the queen side, even if you could drum up an attack, black might just be faster and then you'd be in trouble. So I think it's definitely good to look at this. Definitely good to look at this. But okay, we still didn't really find what black wants to do after queen f3. Because castles looks bad. Castles looks very bad. Rook c8, it doesn't really help either with defending against this idea. So I guess you would have to play something like h6 maybe. H6, and then you could still think about this, but actually now, no wait, never mind. You still can't take that, obviously. Sorry. So you played queen f3 already. Maybe this. And that defends f7. But this is, of course, yeah, very tactical. Because, I mean, if you don't have this move, I think you're just lost. So that's what she would have to figure out, I guess. To play h6. What else could you play? I think maybe g5 with the same idea of preventing g5 with the idea of preventing g5 by white. And then if takes, you have the same problem again. Knight to e5. So that's an interesting resource that you can always, if the f pawn moves away, you have this. And if the f pawn captures, especially, because then the battery will be unleashed. But if you have the knight on e5, then actually that doesn't really matter to you, because you're defending your f7 pawn, and all is good. She played king to f3. Okay. I mean, what? That looks very odd. King to f3. That's very strange. Why would you do that? I'm not sure. That's very strange. Did she like touch her king and had to move it or something? I don't... That seems... Well, okay, I mean, maybe she wants the G file instead, but I don't know, she went to so much effort putting these pawns here that it seems to me like this is the kind of break she wants to go for, and now her king is like terribly in the way of every piece. Very, very strange to me. I mean, g5 you're saying, and then here, and yeah, that doesn't look nice. That does not look good, for sure. I mean, you're gonna run to the center, I guess, or something, I don't know. Like, that looks very lost. I'm very confused about king f3. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. We're still in... Wait, hold on 1 second. I need to fix the lines for a second. I mean, I hope it's a transmission error, because that's just very odd. Like, it's completely counterintuitive. That's not a move that makes any sense, because, like, the queen does just as well defending here as the king. Also, the pawn doesn't even need defense, because it can't be captured actually, because of tactics we looked at. And then, like, it obstructs the rook, it obstructs the queen. I don't see it even sort of obstructs the knight. Like, I don't understand at all how this move makes like sense. It's very puzzling. I'll just quickly look at the chess24 feed on my phone, I guess, because that does not make sense to me. Maybe she's playing King of the Hill, yeah. Probably winning in King of the Hill, but not so winning. Not so winning in other kinds of chess. Let me see. Okay, I mean, I don't. Other transmission says the same thing, but yeah, I don't know what the logic for king to f3 is. Like, I don't I don't understand it at all. Like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. Like, it's just from every single point of view, king f3 seems like a very strange move. Except if she wants to, like, transition everything to the g file, but, like, your king seems so incredibly unsafe here. Like, any sort of break against the king seems very dangerous. Like, as was pointed out, like, g5, letting the knight go into e5 seems very, very strange. I mean, she also thought about it for a long time, 14 minutes. That's... Well, I mean, I can't really find out if it was a transmission error, because if it was, then every single other source will also have the same transmission error, because it's from a DGT board, but I don't see... Actually, I mean, what it could be is actually that if the king got moved, well, g5 was played, I don't know. I mean, that makes sense against king f3. It also makes sense, as we saw against queen f3. But one would be probably dead lost. And one would be okay for white at least, or maybe good for white, so... But I don't know what happened. But okay, I mean, this, if the king is on f3, and I guess we're gonna have to... Did you guys review any Nigel Short games on rest day? Yeah, that's king walks, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. We did not review any Knights of Short games, as or any other games on the rest day. But this is very puzzling. I mean, g5 on the board makes... We're just gonna assume that the king is on f3, but... This looks tough if it is actually on f3. Because what can you do here? I mean, you're gonna have to move your knight or something, because if you take, the knight's gonna come in and it's gonna be terrible. And if you don't move your knight, then it's gonna capture, and fork you. So I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I don't know, Waterford Wizard. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure really what's happening. Like, it appears that the king is on f3, but obviously I don't understand why the king would ever be on f3. Because this is just, as Cliff explained, yeah. I mean, he was already so happy that both players were castled, and now the king comes to f3. He's gonna lose his mind. I mean, she could have messed up the touch move rule, but there's no reason to touch your king really in this position. And I mean, I'm not an OTB chess expert, but I don't think if you like brush your king with the side of your hand or something, that counts as touch move. I think you actually have to like grab it. So I mean, that would be very unfortunate if she lost to a touch move. I mean, she's already having like a ton of terrible luck at this tournament, with positions that are like very winning against high-rated players. And now, if she were to lose with like this against a low-rated player, that would be incredibly frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. Queen a4 played, yeah. I mean, but what if you take? I guess you have to. I guess I don't even know what the idea is. I don't really know what's going on, I must say. Like, I don't think anything like this works when here. I mean, I don't know. This looks just like you're down a piece. I don't really know what happened there. You just get so lost in calculations that your hand goes completely to the wrong place as you're looking elsewhere at the board and not concentrating. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I mean, it might have happened, but also that would be incredibly unlucky. another nice, I mean, it looks very optimistic. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say here. I mean, like, this just looks horrible. This looks horrible. Like, I'm not really sure what to commentate here. She seems like a disciplined person. I mean, if you say so. Just checking in for a minute before going out. Are we winning? Well, JCake, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think we're winning, no. We had a good position, I thought. Nice g4, and then she played king f3 for reasons we're not quite sure about, instead of queen f3. Like, yeah, I mean, if they don't play g5, but even if they don't play g5, even if it doesn't lose immediately, like, even if it doesn't lose immediately, what's your king doing? What's your king doing on f3? I don't understand what your king's doing on a3. I don't know what your king's doing on f3. Like, queen f3, and you have an attack, right? You have an attack, but I don't know why the king wouldn't want to be on g2 instead of g3, instead of f3. It just looks worse placed. Like, this move going into this absolute pin, like, in none of the situations that makes sense to me. Like, this pawn is defended by like, this pawn's defense is being undermined. Like, you're actually doing a lot more damage to your king's position by moving into f3 than you're doing to help your position. Like, your whole position doesn't benefit from the king being on f3 at all. You like my new haircut? Well, thank you. I've decided for a bit of a shorter cut this time. I'll check back in a couple of hours and see how it played out. Bye. Well, see you, JCake. I hope the game's still going in a couple of hours. I hope we're not gonna have a quick loss or something. I'm really not sure what happened. So used to seeing me with long hair. Well, change is good, as they say. Change is good. So there you see me now. This is the new me. Deeper voice, shorter hair, weirder fingers, all the good stuff. I'm almost scared to see what Luke's gonna say when he comes back. Yeah, even if not g5, exactly. Yeah, I don't see what, even if they don't play g5, I don't see what could be good about this. And now, I mean, no, but king f2 makes just as little sense, Waterford Wizard. Like, actually, king f2 makes even less sense. Like, king f3 at least sort of defends this pawn, even though it didn't need defense. But what does white even play after pawn to b4? Well, what does white even play after pawn to b4? I guess we take the pawn, and then we take another pawn? Or what do you mean? I don't think pawn to b4 is what we're afraid of here. Actually, I think that would let white in the game again. That would be lovely if they played b4. just giving us a pawn. Well, I mean, b5, okay, sure, but like, there's nothing that of black that can go to b4. I mean, black's pawn can't go to b4. I don't know what you mean. I just assumed you meant b5. Thank you for following Ometh and Gvova. Hello, welcome to the channel. This is not what we usually do on here. We're just covering Diana's game in the European Women's Championships right now. This is round 7. Oh, actually, I never changed the title. Let me just fix that real quick. The 7th round, of course, not the 6th round. This is false advertising. I wish it was the 6th round again, because in the 6th round we were completely winning. Although it didn't turn out so well in the end. But this does not... Yeah, but b4 after what? Like, I'm confused. G takes on the board. Like, I mean, I guess we have to take, and then, I mean, if they play this, we're gonna have to try to hope for some trickery. Maybe to get some compensation. But I don't know. Like, our king is in such a bad position. We can't even really move many pieces. Yeah, I just changed it, Waterford Wizard. I just changed it. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this. Like, I don't really know what happened here. That's just very strange. I don't know. I can't really... I guess we're gonna have to ask Diana later what happened, if she just, I don't know, grabbed the wrong piece, or if she yeah, what tricks are there for white? Well, that's a good question. But like, I don't know, is my answer. I mean, while we're there with the king, we can just try to run the king, I guess, but that doesn't really help either. Like, that seems at least as bad. I mean, maybe they have something even better, but like... I don't really see what's happening for us here. I want black's knights on f6 to give our knight d5. Hope chess hurts. Yeah, well. Yeah, bishop takes a 45, and we're just gonna be a bit dead, I think. I mean, we're gonna be down a piece. Maybe we can do something, but like, hey, I mean, we get your wish at least, so we do get your wish here, Johnny-O. We do get our knights to nice squares. And then this is cute because we have this, so he can't play that. So he has to go to f8. But I mean, we're still down a piece. We're gonna have to do some magic here with our little attacking force. Maybe I guess we can't this pawn as well. We can. I mean, this is definitely a pretty desperate. Hello, Dready Bays. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm doing well. I mean, I was doing well, and now I don't know. I was doing well, and now we're not doing so good on the board, which is a bit sad. And not in a nice way either. I think we were playing a nice game, and then I was playing well, and then this mysterious move, King f3. Tough event, yeah, but like actually she's been playing really well, and like I don't think game 2 was like round 2 was so good maybe, but other than that, I think she had a win in her first round against the WGM, and then in the third round she had another good game against the WGM, where she just like let it slip a little bit and her opponent played really cleanly. And then round 4 missed a bit of a win, and round 5 against Valentina, round 5 she did win. Like round 4 she missed a bit of a win, got a draw. Round 5 she did win, and yesterday, or not yesterday, but before the rest day, round 6, I guess you saw the position, she was up a bishop in the rook endgame and somehow managed to lose because of, well, I mean, her it's always a little bit of like nerves setting in, like in these sorts of moments, because it's happened to her before. Really a mentality issue, not anything really to do with chess. But here, I don't understand what happened here. Like, King f3 seems like a move that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't make sense on any level, almost. And I mean, at first we assumed that it was like a transmission error or some sort of touch move thing. It could still be that. It could have been a touch move thing. But that would be very painful, of course, if she just accidentally did that. But okay, I mean, she's a fighter, so let's see what she can do. She takes f4 was played. I think she has to take it even if that loses a piece. Because I mean, it's hard to see what she did or what she would do if everything just comes in like this. Like, you're almost gonna have to run the king back at some point because it's just so bad there. And this knight is the only thing keeping us somewhat alive. And this pawn is also a weakness. We're gonna have to like fix so many weaknesses. And we're down a pawn. And they're gonna get a great position like this. I mean, this would just be yeah. So I think to have any sort of hope, we need to give up our piece here. Maybe try this first. Now, I mean, we're down material and it doesn't look great, but at least we have some ideas of this kind of thing. The one thing about a touch move issue is that I would prefer king g3 instead of king f3. Well, let's see about that. King g3 instead of, like, yeah, I mean, probably king f3 is just still the worst king move even. I mean, king h1 is probably better. I think king h1 is better than both of these moves. If I'm gonna be honest, I think king so far, it just doesn't belong there. It just doesn't belong anywhere up here. Yeah, I think even if you don't find g5, even if you don't find g5, let's say black plays this. I mean, I still don't know what your king is doing there. Like, it's maybe not lost, but it's still strange. Well, or you play knight c5. Maybe even still, but now it maybe works. But now, I mean, you can defend like this for the moment, but I mean, it's not gonna be. But okay, I mean, I don't think, yeah, let's just not. We can ask Diana later what happened there. Okay, so nothing. Oh, bishop f2 played in the game. Yeah, I don't like that. I think, if anything, we should have taken here and given up the piece. Because this looks so desperate, because like there's just nothing here. No attack. You're only down a pawn, but I mean, this is weak, this is weak, this is weak. Your king is in a stupid position. Your dark squares are a bit terrible. All your pawns are in light squares. You do have a dark square bishop, but like this pawn is really not great. The black rooks are going to come in. I don't think black even needs to worry about castling here. Maybe if black castles, we get some chances. Let's say if black castles queenside here, then we might have some ideas. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But okay, if anything like that happened, and if it was indeed like a touch move thing, then I think Diana's just going to be tilted out of her mind. The Mirza gun, king and rook battery, yeah. King and rook battery, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know what we can hope for here. This is very difficult to see. Like, even on this diagonal, there's not much happening. Just simple moves for black. And I don't know what white can do, ever. Maybe we can give this to Magnus and he wins it, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think black needs to castle on either side. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, black must calculate something. But I think even here, I think there would have been more chances for black to miscalculate something here. Like, either you take or you do it right away. I'm not sure if it's what's better. And then you get your knight, like you play g5, you get your knight in here. And you have these ideas. This is maybe a thing, you know, that is maybe a thing. But it's hard to imagine what could happen that yeah. Hopefully black will show inexperience and miscalculate. I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope. I mean, definitely still possible. Like, it's always possible. We saw it in Diana's game. Like, it's always possible, even for strong players, to mess things up. But I'm not like, I'm less worried about that than I'm just very confused about what happened so far in this game. Like, I'm just very, very confused of what happened. I mean, I'm gonna need Luke to enlighten us about like touch move or something. What was her prep? Well, there wasn't really that much prep. I can just quickly go through the game, but didn't really prep as much because of like, you know, there was a rest day. Didn't do any chess on the rest day because, let's say, the atmosphere wasn't quite right for it after that last game. But okay, the prep was she was going to try play her Nimzo. Diana was going to go for this anti-Nimzo. She was going to play the Benoni or the Queen's Indian, and she went for the Queen's Indian. Diana went for the Fianchetto line, and I think here d5 was the main move. She decided to castle instead. I mean, traded off the bishops, got an alright position. Like, her opponent went into sort of a hedgehog, put all the pawns on the 6th rank kind of thing. And I think at this point the position is definitely okay. Good, actually. I would say it's a good position. She goes for this kingside expansion, which I like everything so far. And then her opponent plays queen b7. She thinks for a while. And she thinks for a while and plays king f3, which, like, this pawn, I think we talked about it. This pawn isn't actually being threatened because the knight is defending, so the queen can't take. So the knight would have to take. Let's say we make some move. I don't know, like rook c1 or something. And then the knight would take. You can play queen f3. And I think this should be at least okay, because the knight's going to be pinned. And if this, I thought we had this. But actually, I think maybe in this move order, well, maybe, okay, maybe this doesn't actually work, but like work in the sense that you can't take it, but still, I mean, white's more active, and this pawn structure is still vulnerable to attack, especially this pawn here. Would be in some danger. But anyway, like, even this, in spite of everything else, like queen f3 is just a move that solves all these problems. I don't know. Okay, so bishop f2 and her opponent played king to f8. King to f8. I mean, that's interesting. Don't know exactly why she did that. A bit of a weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Luke. I don't know, Luke. I don't know what happened there, Thekela. I mean, at first we thought it was maybe like a transmission thing, and then if it would, like, wondering if it was a touch move thing, but I really can't say what was happening there. It's just not a move that makes any sense. Now, I don't think it was a transmission error because, like, the game went on, queen went to a4, so can't really be a transmission error, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what else could have been the move that induced this Like, she took the pawn. I don't understand what's happening. Is a good move here? What do you mean is a good move? Like, what's good about it? What does it do? Like, I mean, I understand that it probably doesn't lose the advantage, but oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, if king of 8 is playable, then yeah. But still, I don't understand. Like, even if king of 8 is playable, like, why do you play king of 8? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. But okay, let's say she plays like a couple more of those, then maybe we're back in the game. Couple more pointless moves. I would have played rook g8 or rook c8. Yeah, me too. Like, I would have played rook c8 or rook g8 any day. Both of them seem to make a lot of sense. I mean, you're just introducing weird things into the position here. Yeah, like, I agree with Kata. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's happening with king f8. I definitely didn't understand what's happening with king f3. Like, yeah, I really can't tell what's happening. This was d4. This was the d4 game. You've never made a mechanical error in a FIDE game. Well, that's good for you. I hope it was I kind of hope it was a mechanical error. Because, I mean, I think she's not going to be as frustrated losing with touch move as if she lost like this without, like, I just don't see what could ever be good about king f3. It just doesn't compute to me how that move came on the board. King f8 is just to allow some 95 check options, I guess. I mean, okay, but sure. But was there any rush with that? Because, like, if you play 95 check, you give like an opportunity, like, okay, let's say h3 or something. So h3 and 95, and first of all, the king can take, I guess, now that you blocked e5. And otherwise, you're forcing the king back, which does it really want to be up there anyway? I'm not so sure. But okay, let's say takes. We're winning our pawn back. Saying, okay, we might have a bit of a strange king there. Bit of a strange king, bit of a strange pawn structure, but at least material is equal. Yay. Luke, do you want to come in, or is this too depressing for you? I mean, We just need a couple weird moves from our opponent, and I'm gonna start to believe. You would shame resign. Why would it be? Why would you shame resign? Where's the shame in making a touch move error? I don't see like how grabbing the wrong piece by accident could be a matter of shame. Okay, we played g5. Not entirely unexpected. It's a Diana move. Drumming up some chaos. And then what if knight e5? King takes f4. We're attacking. Our king is attacking. This is what we're living for, this tournament. It worked out last time, why shouldn't it work out this time, is the real question. Their knight's hanging. They need to find some plan. They can maybe play this. We could play h4. We push our pawns. Have this rook lined up against the king. I mean, you know. Knight h5 wins a pawn. Well, Luke, I don't care. I don't care. Fine. Fine. Fine, wins a pawn. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't care, chat. No, I don't care. I don't care. We're attacking with our king, so that's what I care about. And our opponent has 37 minutes. I literally don't care. I literally don't care. I just care that king f3 please be taken back and we can replay this game. It was looking very promising. It was looking like it's going to be a very interesting game. Diana's going to run her kingside pawns. Do you figuratively care? No, I don't care in any way. Like, don't care literally, I don't care figuratively, I just, no. Don't even care. It's not even a thing. 95 looks like resign time. Luke, no, we're not resigning. We played 95, and we're not resigning. We're playing king takes e4. f4 rather. That's what we're gonna do. And then I don't know, she's just gonna be too scared to play knight here, so she's gonna play knight back, and we're gonna find something to do. It does feel a bit bad. I agree being bad at chess, but it's only gonna feel bad until her opponent blunders back, and then we're gonna be fine again. I believe. Still plenty of material to blunder. Exactly, Johnny O. That's the kind of positive thinking I like to hear. That's the kind of positive thinking. Where does black hang anything here? Well, never underestimate the power to hang things. Look at what happened in Diana's last game. So that was like the cutoff we take. Like, if it's more lost than that game, then we say, okay, maybe it's going to be in danger of losing now. But if it's less lost than that last game by Diana, then we say we're still having we're still being optimistic. Unfortunately, knight h5 seems like a rather straightforward move. So I'm just gonna assume that this is going to be on the board. And now, what do you mean? What do you mean, how do you hang anything here? Look, two undefended pieces. Lots of ways to hang things. Loose pieces drop off, someone told me once. So, you know. Loose pieces drop off. Time situation. Diana has 14 minutes. Her opponent has 37, but I don't think Diana's time is really important here. I think she can just move quickly, and it doesn't really, like, she can just make moves that look, you know, like they don't get mated. Diana might get mated here. With what? No way. No, we don't get mated. No mates. King takes the 4x, completely losing. Well, Luke. Well, I don't hear any suggestions coming from your side of the court, so no, I don't know. Maybe it does, but does it look worse than anything else? Is the real question. Well, I mean, we can play King E2, I guess. Then we're losing this pawn instead, which looks even worse, if I may say so myself. Like, this is hanging. If we take, then this is hanging. And then, oh, it's not hanging, never mind. But, you know, it's gonna be like a little bit of trouble anyway. So I still want her to take the pawn. If we're gonna make a comeback, we need to give her the opportunity to. She can try to mate us, and then she can fail. That's maybe what we're hoping for here. I'll just put it on the. What here isn't resignable? Well, don't resign. Nothing is resignable. Okay, king takes a 4 plate. I mean, this looks awkward, sure, but this is surely less losing than what her opponent had against Diana Diana in round 6. So I see more opportunity to lose that than I saw in the other game, which means it's perfectly winnable. Perfectly winnable. Taking the pawn loses her bishop. How so? Do you mean like this? But this one doesn't lose her bishop. That's just. I mean, it loses her bishop, but it wins the knight. So, or do you mean some other way? Some long-winded tactic. That I, in my non-computery short-sightedness. Oh no, actually, this is the wrong line. Hold on a minute. We played g5 at some point, didn't we? No, we didn't. We did. So, wait. I'm in the wrong line. Excuse me, everybody. Not the correct line. Like g5. And then here. And then here. So this is the line. My bad. So knight h5, king e3, bishop takes. So what we thought happened, would happen, happened. And, well, I've seen better positions, it's true. It's definitely true that I've seen more promising positions than this one. But yeah, I don't know. We all gotta ask the universe to deliver some blunders to her opponent, because this is going to require some blunders. Diana has a lot of control of b5. Well, isn't that the silver lining we've all been looking for? Isn't that just brilliant? Okay, so king d1, knight f4, king d1. Okay, we're getting chased to safety. This is where we want to be with our rook somewhere here. Maybe we can just castle here. How about that? Is this 960 chess? Can we have moved the king? No, I think we should just be allowed to castle here as compensation. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, short castle and long castle, but also like a short castle on the long castle side. I think we should introduce this rule to chess, actually. None of this no castling chess. I think double castling chess is where it's at. Too advanced, yeah. I mean, not everybody can keep up. That's okay. Don't be ashamed. That's okay. And then black castle's extra long. Extra long castle. Like this, maybe. Yeah. Why not? We're okay with that. I think we're okay with that trade. I'll take it. Okay, now our opponent needs to make a move, which is always nice because they can only blunder on their own move, so it's always good when it's our opponent's move. Always an opportunity there. I guess rook g8 or rook c8 makes sense. There's still, I mean, you know, if we ever get something like this, and then we can take, I mean, we can threaten this, and then knight moves away, and then, I don't know, we take here with check, and win the bishop. That's our new plan, okay? So we're gonna say black plays a stupid move, then we're gonna play a smart move, then they're gonna play a stupid move, and we're gonna win. How is that? How is that? I suggest that that is how the game's going to go. I hope there are no objections in chat to that. I think that would be nice. Actually, like, even if they play this, same idea. If they play the wrong move, if they play a bad move, then we're gonna be winning. So, you know, blunder some tactics maybe. That would be nice. Better than your plan of hoping black plays king d7. Well, I mean, that's a plan. That's a plan as well. A plan's a plan. Any plan's a good plan at this point, I would say. I mean, there have definitely been comebacks from worse positions than this one. So, I'm not giving up yet. I'm not giving up yet. So, Luke, I mean, are you still coming on, or have you already given her up in this round? I think we need to send her some energy. Send her some support. None of this dodging. Proper darling win by flagging. See, that's another plan. I like it. I like it, chat. Keep the plans coming. Keep the plans coming, please. I want to see some more winning suggestions. Flagging is good. This is good. Weird self pins are good. Although, I mean, I guess we'd have to play this and then they can play this. That would be even better. How about that? Lots of things to do. Get on there, Luke. Exactly, Luke. Get on there. Oh, brilliant. There he is. We bullied him into it. Now I just need to open Discord because I actually wasn't ready myself. I'm good at talking shit, but not good at actually following through, apparently. Alright. Oh no, weird calling. Okay, let's not do that. That's gonna make an annoying sound. Let's just wait for him to call, I guess. Okay, was there a move? Our opponent is really scared of King D1. I think she's really scared now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she can't even make a touch move mistake here. I think any move is okay. Like any piece move is okay. Except maybe this one. Or this one. Well, maybe she touched one of those. That would be a nice one. This is another one we're hoping for. Another one we'd be okay with. We're clutching at the straws here a little bit maybe, but we're not ashamed. Oh, sugar. Oh no. Did I just mess it all up? No, okay. Almost messed up the whole setup there. Our opponent's really thinking this one through. Just been spending 8 minutes on this move. 8 minutes to only play. Please let us play Rook G8 and not Rook C8. Rook C8 would be very annoying because then we actually need to react. We can't do our own cheesy plans if she's actually gonna play a sensible move like this. Pick up the phone. What do you mean, Luke? Oh, okay, there you go. Never mind. Hello.
How's it going?
I mean, I don't know. Is it going?
Going all right. I mean, what's there to say about this position? I mean,
Yeah.
I think maybe the only chance we have here is that Black has too many good moves. They don't play any of them. I mean, that can happen.
Yeah,
But,
that can happen exactly. I like this. We need to keep brainstorming of ways.
Yeah. I mean, the time situation here is pretty grim, I think. Diana's little bit structure is gone. And Black's pieces are very active.
Okay, now to the real important stuff, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like the good stuff. We need to hear the
good
good
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, no, I
About
understand.
what?
Okay, I don't know. We don't really have many things going for us
Yeah, I
here.
mean, like, I guess maybe Diana's opponent misses bishop g3, but like,
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
well, she just played rook c8, so
Okay, that
I
seems
don't
like
know if.
the right move.
Yeah, I mean,
Because now we need to do
that
something
looks
about
the
the
most
pawn.
natural to me, as long as bishop g3 is not winning anything.
Yeah.
But even if bishop g3, you can probably just play knight e g6, right? And then e5 is coming, and
But can't you take with tempo on c4?
yeah, I mean, you can do everything, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I think actually, like, taking on f4 earlier is like resigning, basically. Right? It's, you're the game is over at that point, right? Like,
I don't know. I think the other thing was almost more like resigning. You're giving them the same position, except with a pawn up as well.
I mean, yeah, all of it was. I think after 95, I'm resigning there, but
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
I don't understand King F3 at all in the game.
I don't either.
I don't understand
Like Queen
at
f3
all.
made so much sense. King f3 made
Yeah.
no sense.
And did we have a better move after G5? Was G5 just the best move from Black, or?
I think it was. I mean, we can look at it.
Yeah, I was making lunch when that happened, so I don't know.
Oh no, that was our g5. Oops.
Rook G1. I mean, we have to worry about the c pawn and our king, and yeah. So here, like, why not just Queen F3?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it, right? Like,
Queen f3
was she worried about G5? But like, even if Queen F3 G5, King F3 G5 must be worse than Queen F3 G5, right? So
yeah. Okay, g5
I don't
here.
really get that one.
And now, I mean, you move your knight maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can even just play like, I don't know, Rook D1 here or something. And oh no, we gotta be careful about takes and E5. Actually, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe G4 was just a very good move. G5 was just a very good move. Suddenly White's position doesn't look so good. Giving up the E5 square, and that can't be good for us.
So what if we play f5 at 95?
F5.
I guess this is just not good.
Yeah, we gotta move our queen, and then
Yeah.
taking here, and like, yeah, I mean, now you're losing your G pawn probably. Like, G4, G5 was like a really good move, as far as I can see. Maybe we're missing something, but yeah, I mean, there's just F takes G4 after this, right? Like, I will take on G4 now, and you don't really have anything. Like, I guess you can. I can't. You don't even have time to play H3 here.
Okay, Johnny, we'll look at your line for a second. Give me a moment here.
Let's say you play like Bishop D2 here.
1 second. Let's just make this the main line for a second.
Yeah.
Wait, so Johnny, what were you saying? Hope chess at its finest. Rook c8. Wait, that's the move, isn't it?
Yeah, so Rook c8, Bishop g3. I mean, Queen c7 has never been played in this position, so
that's
definitely
cooperative.
definitely a move.
I mean, that's interesting, yeah. But okay.
Oh, he said c7, bishop or queen c7, not d7.
Oh, queen c7. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you play bishop g3, then rook takes c4 must just be winning on the spot, right? Like, now you're losing your knight with check, and
yeah, no,
like,
this is...
yeah, That's over. Like, so I don't know how you
Yeah,
stop.
maybe
Well,
you're
Diana,
giving, maybe give up your queen or something.
Diana played b3,
But yeah,
and I feel like b4 must be something now, right? No, this is yeah. So b3 was played after rook c8. I feel like b5 is
b5.
now very strong.
I guess we have to take with the knight or something. Oh no, wait.
I mean, can you do this? I'll take your knight. Like, my rook is not pinned, or the pawn on a6 is not pinned anymore. Like,
yeah,
so
no, sure. I mean,
you also can't move this.
yeah, yeah.
Like, you can never move this knight on c3 because
Yeah,
I just
because
take on e4, right?
yeah.
Like, and then I'm checkmating you.
Then we're sort of out of tricks. Although,
Oh, we never swap queens. We take on e4 here.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. b5 isn't the correct move.
Correct by what standards? You're saying it's
No,
not
someone in the
winning,
chat
or?
is saying it's...
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I don't see how we launch a kingside attack here. Like, the king is on d1, like, you know,
yeah,
we're coming down the c file. Is I don't. What is there to attack on the king side? The h2 pawn. I mean, I don't get that one. I love how the viewership doubled as soon as I arrived. By the way.
yeah. Okay, look. Okay, sure. Come, you can take your view bots out of the chat now. It's fine.
We joking. Joke.
No, yeah.
A bit of banter.
I can imagine that me being depressed alone is not the sight anyone wants to see. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't like. I feel like b5 is just very clinical here, right? And unless, yeah, maybe I'm missing a tactic or something, but like, what if b5 queen a3? Does that do anything? No, just b4. Yeah. Let's say you go, yeah, b5, queen b4. Oh, can you go queen b4 actually?
queen before. Okay.
So b5, queen b4. No, b4. Can I just play a5 here? No, the e6 pawn is the d6 pawn is hanging now.
Oh.
So maybe we can't play b5.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. You take on e6.
So your queen getting trapped.
Is it gonna get trapped?
I think it's trapped.
Well, where does the king? Oh, the knights defend each other. Very nice.
That was random though. That's pretty random. Yeah. I don't think she's gonna play that.
Okay, so we can't go queen b4 either. Yeah, and then if you ever go queen a5, then I just play b4 anyway, right? And your knight has to move, and then I capture on e4, and it's also lights out.
Yeah.
Is there any universe in which we play pawn takes? Let's say b5 pawn takes.
I mean,
like rook takes knight, you take on a6. No, you just take on e4. It's all nonsense. If rook takes, like,
yeah,
pawn takes pawn. This is fantasy land.
Are there any OTB tournaments in Dublin this year? Luke, what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, there was the Irish Championships were on last week, so we had the first weekender for under 1300, and then we had the main event, and then we had the open weekday and the open weekender, and then this weekend we're having the under 1900 section, and then on the 10th of September we're having the City of Dublin tournament, so the Dublin Masters tournament.
And at some
There's,
points, there's the glorious women's championship as well. I heard.
Oh yes, the women's
The
championship. That's not in
four-round-
Dublin. That's in
The 4-round.
the women's championship is in Portlaoise. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And then the Irish Junior Championships are on soon, I guess. Yeah, City of Dublin would be a good tournament to play. I would get your entry in sooner rather than later, just in case. And of course, you'll have to be a member of the Irish Chess Union to play, but they can sort that out for you. If you go Queen A3, then I'll play B4, right? And now I'm forking your queen on your knight. So B5 looks winning to me. Unless there's some crazy tactic we're missing.
Mm.
We'll just play you have so many moves here that are all just completely winning, right?
Okay, B5 played.
Yeah. I think that's game over.
Okay, so
I think Diana will trap her queen here. I think Diana will trap her queen. Yeah. Here comes queen b4, and then queen b4 on the board. Knight d3 is winning the game. So let's see if it's played.
Yeah.
Very well spotted from Patrick here. That
It wasn't actually spotted. I just played it.
And if you go knight d3 and then queen takes and bishop e7, can you play knight takes e6?
Wait, sorry.
So if knight d3,
which knight are we talking about now?
Oh, knight e d3 in the position on the analysis board.
Yeah.
Queen takes d6.
Ah, you mean sack here? Or...
Queen takes d6.
Yeah.
Bishop e7. And then knight takes e6. Does that work? I mean, still losing, right? But
yeah.
Stick with a pawn, like. Yeah, there's no tricks here.
I mean, we go like here or what?
Queen e5, maybe? No, you just play e5. Yeah, no, it's all. Nothing is working here. Yeah. You're just down a piece. Nothing is happening.
Maybe our opponent doesn't see it.
Maybe that's actually better drawing chances, because in that line, black will have only the h-pawn. So maybe that's a better way to try and draw the game. Just getting rid of all black's pawns.
There we go. Well, this game goes so great. Well, you might say that, Dermot.
Yeah.
You might say that. We're still like, I think everything just really comes down to this move here.
If you go queen d4 at the end of that line, Johnny, then black has e5. Yeah, so yeah, king f3 has to be just a massive mistake, and then I guess they'll have their e pawn and their h pawn. If you try and do something here, you can't go queen. Oh, you can actually. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, this is all just lost. Like so.
Yeah.
We never have time to swap all the pawns, so yeah. Nothing happening here. Is there any nonsense where we can take on d3 and give a check? No.
Nothing Sundark scores really.
Everything is so safe.
Like if the queen was here, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Then could even do something like.
I don't think white has anything. Once black finds knight d3, the game's over. I mean, as black here, like, what are you calculating besides knight d3? Like,
maybe she doesn't find it. You never know.
Yeah, but what other moves are there to even consider? You know. It's like the only move that makes sense here. Like, you can't even move the d pawn. You're never playing king e7. You know, you're never moving your minor pieces here. Rook g8 doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Rook
classic move.
c5 must be bad. I mean, queen c7 also doesn't really do anything.
No, it doesn't do anything, but it defends the pawn.
Yeah,
So, you know, from her,
I
from
know,
our
yeah.
perspective.
But we just played b5, you know? We're not going to be playing queen d7 after we played b5, right? So, yeah, knight d3 on the board. And,
yeah, that's sad.
yeah, that's game over, I think. Very well played from Diana's opponent, I gotta say. G5 is a really, really nice move, I think. And then
Yeah, but I think it was much more obvious after King f3 than it would have been after Queen f3.
yes, I agree. I think King f3 really makes you want to play
Yeah,
g5, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's again like it's g5 is a nice idea, but like we can't say that Diana's opponent didn't play well today.
No, I think she just made the most of that single mistake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that was brutal chess.
yeah, I think this
That
is
was
resign here, to be honest. I mean, I've been saying that since like him on the call, but the position is really bad. I mean, I guess she can try queen a5, but even then, like, it doesn't really work.
yeah.
Black's pieces are just excellent, except the
Whoops.
rook on h8. But yeah, here I think. Oh, interesting actually that if you go queen a5 here, white doesn't or black does not have b4 because the bishop on g5 is hanging.
Yeah,
So,
but you have bishop d8 and then
yeah, in between, and then b4.
Never
Yeah. Well, you know, people miss sideways queen moves all the time. It's a big blind spot in certain
actually
people's things, right?
yeah,
So,
that's actually true. That's actually true. So maybe playing on psychology there a little bit. That would be nice.
but even then, it's probably still winning for black, right? If you go queen a5, b4, queen takes bishop, pawn takes knight, the e pawn is hanging. Like this is still probably winning for black.
Now we still have these tricks as well. But queen takes e4. You can play. Yeah.
Well, queen takes e4. You can take the knight. Oh, but then I take your knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. If bishop takes, I just take on e. I mean, maybe this is something you want to go for, but again, black doesn't even have to play b4, right? They can play different
No,
moves.
definitely not. Yeah.
So, but even then, like in the worst case scenario for black is probably still winning. You need a colossal mistake here for white to have chances. It looks to me, anyway.
Well, this is very sad.
Maybe computer will say that we're all morons, but
yeah, I doubt it.
yeah, I doubt it as well.
Just looks so unpleasant. Yeah, I don't know. That was another. Well, I mean, I say another, but like a painful game in a different way. That's just such a strange move, King f3, and that's the like. Basically, the game ended with that.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing to be done. Her opponent played it well after. Just a huge blunder. I'll just check how much time she spent on that. She spent quite a long time as well. Like she spent 14 minutes on King f3.
Yeah, it's maybe g4 is a bit hasty. Maybe this plan is a bit hasty. I mean, I liked it at the start. It looked like white's grabbing the space. You know, makes a lot of sense in this type of pawn structure. But maybe we have to wait until black puts their king somewhere before we start making these plans. Because you know, g5 might be a little different if black's castled. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate though. Like very tough game.
That was definitely the toughest game yet. That was
Leanna has no
just
time
an
as well,
early
so
mistake.
yeah, I think maybe on in retrospect, g4 was a bit hasty. Um, it kind of makes sense to me. Like you see that this type of move played a lot in those positions where you're trying to. Oh, okay, we have lots of moves on the board. So queen
Lots of them.
takes d6, bishop e7, knight takes d6.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of hope chess here, maybe.
I never know. Maybe she takes with the knight.
Yeah, maybe. Black can still well,
No, I think.
no, I mean take with the knight, maybe white's okay.
Yeah, because.
Right, you just take the oh no,
This,
rook
no,
d8
it
and knight.
doesn't.
Oh
Not
yeah,
d5.
you have knight d5, right? So
Yeah.
knight d5.
This. She could miss it.
Maybe
It's not impossible. She could
maybe you're
miss that you
okay,
don't
like
have rook d8 in the end.
okay, but she took with the pawn, so
That's sad.
and then queen d4 and then e5, I guess is being played now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, tough. Tough. I guess you play. I mean, I guess you play here just for. Out of principle.
I feel like bishop c5 is very strong after. Well, you take there first and then go bishop c5.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just bishop c5 straight away. Or rook d8 first. I mean, yep.
Oh, bishop c5. Oh, sorry.
I don't think you want to go to b4.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
Rook d8 looks very good as well. I mean, everything looks good here. Rook g8, rook d8, taking on c4. All these moves look good. Bishop c5. Everything looks good.
Yeah.
Bishop c5 played in the game. Or maybe bishop c5 and then bishop b4. Is that a thing? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, bishop c5 was played very quickly, so I mean, also you always have the option of just winning the exchange here, right? So like you can just take on f2 if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean just take on on f2, right? And you're up a full rook, like yeah, takes, queen takes, rook g8. I mean, rook g2 is coming. Rook d8 check can happen. Yeah, I mean, just keep it simple and
Oh man.
yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, you're just down a rook here, like so. Also, yeah, maybe
Oh man.
now you can take on c4 and play rook d8 check, and then rook g8, and white's queen is loose. Rook d8. I mean, uh, Diana played king c2. Okay. Not sure why Diana is still playing on, but
Look, taking an example from our opponents.
yeah. Just take on c4. I mean, take on c4, and well, you don't even have to take on c4. You could even play. I like rook g8, bringing the last piece into the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, rook g8 looks good to me. Or rook d8. I mean, yeah. Does white have any tricks? Probably not. Yeah, maybe black makes aims this. Like they have they have so many good moves. It's really possible they just play a bad one. Like
Too
that can
many,
happen. Like
too
when you
many
have
good
only
ones.
one good move, it's much easier to find than when you have like 8 good moves.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot of people, when they have 8 good moves, instead of just playing any move, they overthink it and they play a bad move.
Yeah, I don't know. This is very, very depressing.
I have to agree.
This is quite depressing. It was so abrupt as well. Um, like it was just one king move, a strange king move, and then it was all over. Um, I really don't know what happened there. I guess we can ask Diana if she wants to come in. I'll probably go out to meet her. After the game is done. I mean, this is just okay. Our opponent's thinking after b takes, b takes. Yeah, I'll mute the mic. I'll mute the mic then.
Yeah, I mean, at least Santa can play rook b1 now. So,
Right. Bright
you
light.
know, at the least.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe bishop d4 is just very clean. Oh, bishop d4 kind of wastes a move. Yeah, just rook g8, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I think we need to look for different moves. I think we need to look for moves that could mess it up. So, how can we find those? I don't really see it.
Um, it seems very difficult to mess this up as black.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the rook would have to come to b7 somehow, and your queen would need to get in behind, and like Black's pieces just cover everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the knight is going to go to d5, I guess. That's about
Queen
it.
can't even really move. Yeah, this is all
Yeah.
very, very tough to see anyway.
Okay, Queen b4 is a move, a legal chess move. I don't really like Queen b4, but okay. Not the move I would play.
I mean, fine, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's still winning, but Rook b1 played. Yeah, I would just play Rook g8 instead of Queen b4 there. Just bring the last piece into the game.
Maybe she plays Queen a4. How about that? Wouldn't that be
Queen
nice?
a4. Maybe, yeah. I mean, the c pawn is gone now, and thank you very much for the follow, Dimash.
You just need her to mess things up somehow. And I don't know how it's going to happen. Yeah, thank you for the
Yeah, well, now
follow.
the c pawn is gone as well, right? And now you're in big trouble, right? Because the knight
Now we're in
will
big
be
trouble.
loose.
Yeah.
I mean, like now you're actually in like getting mated in a few moves as opposed to
Queen
like
takes c4 was played.
yeah. I mean, we were in big trouble for a long time, but I meant more so that like
Yeah.
you might actually be getting checkmated now.
Yeah.
So because you can't move the rook off the back rank because the f1 rook is hanging. The knight is pinned. You can't really move your king.
Okay, we just need a couple moves in a row. Even that actually doesn't. I mean, actually that would be made. So we need 3 moves in a row to make things happen.
Anna is
How's Diana doing?
doing
Well,
pretty poorly today.
today didn't go so good. Gonna have to ask her about King f3. I mean, there was only one move in this game basically. That was King f3, and then it was before that it was okay, and then it was not okay.
Okay, rook g1 played. So yeah, maybe queen e2 maybe. maybe black plays queen d3 here, check. We somehow double our rooks and the dark square bishop moves. I mean, there's so many criteria we have to meet here.
Yeah, this is
yeah, I also think bishop
I think coming up with good moves isn't the challenge here. Plutarch.
yeah,
Good name, by the way.
great name.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, Diana maybe has to go after the pawns here. That's maybe her only hope. But
yeah,
maybe her opponent is annoyed that she's playing on and will resign. Also, knight takes e4.
Resign in
Knight
protest. Yeah.
Yeah. Knight takes e4 maybe is on as well for black.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks on for black here. Like Christmas come early, like.
Yeah, I don't know. Gapa giving some lines. Queen a3, queen f1, queen d5. I don't know. All those moves. Queen a2, yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny, that might be the best try here, like just we don't want to see what the engine says because we know every move is winning for black here, so Let's try and find a losing move for black that isn't just, nonsense. Like a sensibly losing move. If one such exists.
And not our finest moment here. That's true for sure, Dermot. Not the best moment here. Okay, knight e4 play. I mean,
Yeah, knight takes e4 looks like game over.
yeah.
Take the rook with check, and now you're down even more material.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I mean, I'm just gonna have to go back and go. Yeah.
Yeah, rook g8, rook takes rook, queen can maybe come in. That's a sensible way that black could throw the position, but they're playing black is playing pretty clinically here, so yeah, I don't know about queen b4, but I guess everything was winning, right? I would have played rook g8 there, but yeah, I mean it's all winning, right? So
Hmm.
any sneaky things we can do here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the time for sneakiness may have passed. Very, very frustrating game for Diana, I think. She
Yeah.
must be really annoyed. Just one move and it was over.
Yeah, I mean everything is under threat here. Like,
Yeah. Just a few too many. And I mean, this king went for a little bit of a journey.
but on the plus side of all this, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a free Twitch Prime sub every month, which you can use to subscribe to any channel on Twitch, including Diana's, for free. All the subs greatly support Diana's channel and all the stuff she's trying to do here, chess content, and she'd really appreciate it. So that is one plus side, one bit of good news we have today. But unfortunately, in the chess department, it's not going so well.
Also, she made 8 king moves this game, I think, if I remember the route correctly.
A lot of king moves.
8 king moves.
You know what's
32
less than
moves.
8 though?
1.
8 king moves. Is a lot of king moves. Rook g4 played. Yeah, I think actually at this point, like it's probably better for your mental game to just resign at this point, right? Like you're like torturing yourself here by playing on, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I think the torture is there anyway.
We're aware, Dio Passer. Black is completely winning. I think yeah, at this point, like it's actually bad for your mental state and like it's bad for your confidence to play on in a position like this, right? Because the game is basically over.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure there's like she was really frustrated after that last game, but this
yeah.
this is
Yeah, I mean this just loses another piece, right? Because you have knight takes knight. If queen takes, then queen e2 check picks up the rook. So yeah, this is
queen takes.
Oh no, you play knight takes, right?
Yeah,
so...
I know you do, but
yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
queen
you're still
takes.
down 2 pieces, so
You're still up 2 pieces.
yeah,
But now you're about to be up 3 pieces after knight takes. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Queens were swapped.
Wait, were they?
Yeah, I mean, no real need to make it complicated, I guess. But
Yeah, queen takes. Okay.
This
Yeah,
is pretty simple to win here, right? I like that Diana's opponent is taking their time. They're just making sure everything is correct and absolutely zero chance to blunder here if you just stay calm.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
actually worse than the position Indiana's opponent had. Now
Yeah, you just
now
give
we're
a
getting
check.
worried.
Yeah, you just give a check and rook g8 and yeah, I mean game over.
I don't think that was. Oh wait, she had her rook. I guess. Wait, hold on. Rook g8, rook h4, and then the rook falls as well.
Okay, now the rook. Okay, now the game is over, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I guess
Okay.
she resigned here or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean she's down 2 pieces on a rook. Like it's.
Yeah.
I would beat Magnus from here with black. I think on a good day.
Blindfolded.
Yeah. So.
Wait, where's the game disappeared on me? Yeah, I think the game's probably
really
over
tough.
at this point. Oh man, I mean.
Really, yeah, she resigned. The clocks are gone.
Yeah. That's
Really, really, really tough game for Diana.
that's bad.
Yeah, I mean King King f3, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
King
here. This is the
King F3,
position,
you know.
the only position that sort of like, okay, I mean, let's just quickly go through this again, like g5 here, and we were saying maybe it's a bit tough for white anyway.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what's going on after
Okay,
g5.
I'm gonna turn on the computer, like, so I'm
Okay.
too annoyed to analyze it myself. Not annoyed, but like frustrated. Computer says knight to d5. Okay.
Oh, you invited me to, or can you invite me to the study there, please?
Oh yeah, sorry, of course. I forgot to do that today.
Yeah, so was g5 even a good move? Yeah, g5 is even good against queen f3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to play knight d5. I mean, yeah, it's like if you play f5, yeah, just knight e5 and yeah, black is just winning.
I guess you know.
If you take, yeah, knight e5 again, and black is just kind of winning. Yeah, Jesus, like -5 after this position.
Yeah, it's very annoying that this knight goes to e5 and protects.
Yeah.
That's probably
King
what she
f3,
missed.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you see it, I guess it's.
Yeah, so instead of g4, maybe what can we play instead of g4?
Well, any
Yeah, maybe
normal
g4
move, I
is a bit
guess.
hasty, just like rook c1, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go f5 here, okay. Yeah, I think maybe g4 was a little hasty. Let's say we castle here, and now we can go to g4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say queen here. I don't know. Let's make a normal move for white. Let's say like queen f3. Well, knight c5 is pretty good. Yeah, you have to go f5 here. Everything else seems pretty good for black. If you go g4, they can just take on e4. Yeah. So pretty tough position, to be honest.
Okay, so let's look at 95 though for a second. Like,
Yeah.
I was interested actually. Actually, never mind. You can look at it, and I'll go meet Diana, and
Okay.
I'll just mute
Yeah.
myself.
So
Okay.
g4, queen b7, queen f3, g5. Yeah, and then here computer says to us that the only move is knight d5. Pretty interesting move. Um, I don't really understand the idea behind knight d5. Must be a very deep sacrifice. One idea might be that you're going to get an open E file here, right? So we can possibly open the FNE file and bring our A rook to E1. So let's say they capture, we capture with the pawn. And let's say we also have this really nice C6 square. So that might be the idea here, is to bring the rook to E1 and the knight to C6. And kind of get something going that way. So let's say they capture. Yeah, we can play bishop takes. Yeah, now black is in trouble, right? Because the rook is coming to E1, the D6 pawn is under attack, and the knight is coming to C6 or F5. Probably F5 a bit more accurate, right? So yeah, this is like a really deep positional sacrifice you have to find. And even then it's only equal, right? I mean of course many ways for black to go wrong here. Like if black castles here, yeah, knight C6 looks pretty devastating. If black goes this way, yeah, knight F5, right? So basically you're activating this knight by kind of weakening the light squares. But yeah, I mean that's incredibly difficult to see. And let's say we play H5 here. This is supposed to be equal, and I imagine we're gonna get a big massive computer line here from both players. So very complicated, but I think the idea with knight d5 is, yeah, you're trying to play on the e file and you're using the weakness of the light squares with our lovely knight on d4. Yeah. So yeah, I mean I don't really understand the position after h5 either, to be honest. So h5, this is really complicated. Like if you take here, suddenly knight e5 is happening. Really difficult position to play. So this is definitely something that yeah, I agree, being bad at chess. Super GMs playing this position, they play correctly and make a draw. At a 2000 level, like at my level, I would like to be playing with the white pieces here. This looks really juicy position. Um, but it's still pretty difficult. Like h5 here, and I don't know what's going on. Like if we just go, let's just say we play knight here. Like yeah, they can just take here. So we got to deal with that. So if we take g4, queen e2, and b5, yeah, I guess the knight is coming in here. Like you're undermining d5. Very, very, very complicated position after knight d5. It's an engine move completely. If you don't have that prepared at home, uh, well, the engine is telling us that everything else is good for black. So, like, no, obviously during the game we didn't even think about knight d5, right? Like nobody saw knight d5 when we were playing earlier. We're just checking things with the computer now. So, um, like, what do we do after g4? Like, we can't play f5. Like we can't move this knight. Like if we go knight c2, yeah, like h5 suddenly, and now we're under a lot of problems, right? Like everything here, every move except 95 is probably better for black. Let's say we go e5. Yeah, that's good for black. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's 95 is my move, by the way. I didn't. Originally we thought this was good for black, but 95 looks very strong. So let's say, what was that line you said with h5? Yeah, if e5? No. Um, if not here. If knight c2, I mean h3, they can just take, I guess, and the rook not there. Rook not there either. Rook just coming up here, right? So now you're losing the g pawn. So yeah, really complicated position. Really, really complicated. So I think g4 is really the mistake here, right? So yeah, I think pushing the g pawn is not so good. Maybe rook c1 and queen b7 and f5, like Johnny is saying, makes a little bit more sense straight away. Because if you take here, I have queen f3. So yeah, the computer wants to castle with black here, which is a very brave move, I would say. I mean, that's you're really in the frying pan right there, you know, or wherever that expression goes. Um, so yeah, very complicated position. I'm not sure if this was theory. I don't know what the prep situation was. Um, yeah, because it's a Maroczy bind, right? So, uh, it's not really a Queen's Indian anymore. It's like a hedgehog Maroczy bind kind of situation. So it's a different pawn structure now. Um, but yeah, I think really the mistake here is g4, right? If you're going to play g4 here, you probably have to know about knight d5 and all this ideas, right? So it's not a move you probably want to be playing if you're kind of just on the cusp of, you're not preparing this position, you just kind of arrived at it at the board. Um, so yeah, rook c1 makes a lot of sense. Queen f3, I guess, same idea, but yeah, rook c1, complete the development. Generally, when we have these Maroczy bind positions, we don't need to be hasty about it, right? We can just keep improving our position until everything is set up properly, and then we can grab the space, right? Like g4, we can wait for later, right? Wait until they've castled and then play g4. Or like Johnny was saying, very similar to the Boffinic English, we play f5 at some point. Um, but yeah, I think g4 would definitely be an inaccuracy or a mistake, maybe even. Um, but yeah, I gotta say, black played this game very well. G4, or sorry, g5 from black. Okay, king f3. I'm not sure what's going on here, but uh, yeah, g5, really strong move from black, I think. Is there a better move? No, g5 is the best move. Really strong idea from black, and they played very well after this and won the game pretty cleanly. So yeah, well played to them. Really unlucky for Diana. Well, not unlucky. I mean, she had a tough game today. It's gonna happen. When you're playing these big tournaments, everyone is just so up for it, right? Everybody is prepared very deeply and they're very sharp, right? So if you slip up at all, you're gonna have a bad time. People are really strong nowadays, like 1800s 10 years ago or 5 years ago are not the same as 1800s today. People are getting really, really strong with the help of computers and the deep preparation you can do nowadays. But yeah, G5 is just a really nice move here. In the opening, let's see. I didn't really see the opening. I missed the opening, but you would think that, yeah, you would think this position, let's get the little book up and see what the database says, but yeah, so yeah, this is kind of the like in these positions, uh, in these kind of IMSO positions, I think Patrick has this here, so he must have spoken about it before. But like the main in all these Vnketo systems, um, kind of the main idea is to play d5 at some point, right? So in a lot of Nimzo Indians where we've Inketo, d5 is basically the plan, right? So we're gonna go d5 and get into like a Benoni structure. So castling, yeah, castling is I guess the second most popular move. But yeah, d5 is the idea here. This is the main idea in all these positions to go d5. Um, yeah, and if takes, we have knight g5, and yeah, you go down a big line of theory here, and yeah, it's supposed to be decent for white, but anyway, we don't have this during the game. We have castles, which I guess is fine, but pretty good argument to say that black has equalized here. Yeah, also maybe you can just go queen check here. Like this kind of looks annoying, right? And you get a lot of pressure on this d6 square. You know, the knight can always come into c6. Let's say you go bishop e7 here. We can just develop the castle. Yeah, knight c6. You can't. Yeah, knight c6, and suddenly white's pieces are very active, right? You never really want to go e5 here. Give up the d4 square. So, um, well, it starts as an IMSO and then it transposes, right? So, like, there's a lot of different variations you can play here. Well, you get a similar structure, like, um, but the main idea anyway is to go d5 in these positions. That's generally the plan for white. Um, but yeah, maybe queen a5 is a better try here. A little bit more aggressive, like if queen d8, queen c6. You have knight b5, and I guess rook d1, and you get a lot of pressure on black's king here. We're kind of abusing the fact that the light squares are weak. But anyway, knight c3 is a6. That's fine. Yeah, maybe bishop g5, bit more aggressive, but yeah, I'm aware, but it's like the same setup, right? Like you get like you can transpose into that position from many lines, like for example, yeah, like bishop here, knight f3, c5, like you can get a similar position. The idea is that white should go d5 at some point. You can get it as well from this variation. I think it is no c5, knight here. Yeah, this one. This is also a pretty common idea. And then yeah, castles, and you go g3, bishop e7, and d5, and similar idea. So yeah, we didn't have that though, but we went up in like a hedgehog. Yeah, maybe bishop g5 here, a bit more aggressive, but I mean f4 is still fine. This is all fine, I guess. Yeah, just g4 I think is just a bit hasty. Just rook c1 or b3 even. Is b3? B3 is also fine. I mean, this is kind of your idea in the Morocco, like in when you got this Maroxy bind pawn structure with white. So, um, anyway, yeah, and then king f3. I don't really know what this move is about. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Not really much to be said here. It's probably just a massive blunder, I think. Why it was played, I don't know. Maybe Diana touched her king. Maybe she thought maybe she didn't like queen f3 because of knight to c5. But yeah, like Patrick pointed out, actually, that b4 is winning here, and the computer backs that up. So yeah, and just g5 very strong. And here, black can even play h5 and is completely crushing, according to the computer. -4 for black here after h5. which is a really nice idea. Just kind of not worrying about where the king is going to be, and just trying to blow the position up and try and get at white's king. Yeah, and bishop f2 is the game is over. -7 for black here. King f8, yeah, not so accurate. You can probably start with this one. And then 90, and you're threatening rook takes a 94. Or 95, sorry. So, how do I... Oh, arrows on lead chest always get me. Anyway, king f8, it's fine. g5, yeah, it's just curtains from here. If you go king e2, yeah, you can just take on e4 like we thought. So, from here, it's... yeah. b5, very strong move. Like we thought, b5, there's no real move here. You got to give up your knight, at least. So, yeah. Knight to d3, also a really nice find. Because after this, we have bishop e7, and yeah, it's just curtains from here. Black is probably close to mate here. Yeah. Yeah, this is like, we have mate soon, I guess. I mean, queen b4, rook g8, they're all... every move's winning here for black. Okay, so I would go and look at some other games while we're waiting for Patrick, but I actually can't control what's up on the screen, right? I can only move the study position. So if we have any questions, maybe in the chat, I can answer them without moving. Oh, Patrick is back. Hello. Okay, we just had a bit of a recap during the game. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, sure. Oh, you're muted, Patrick, to the stream. Yeah, I finished recapping the game there.
Sorry, everybody.
So maybe we'll just leave it at that for today.
Yeah,
We'll be
I
back
think
tomorrow.
we're gonna maybe leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna need a bit of time for yourself.
Is the round at the same time tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'll
Okay.
accept the last round might be an hour earlier, but
Okay. Cool. So we will wait, can you hear Patrick now, guys? Can you okay, they have
yeah,
you
it should
now.
be
Okay,
possible.
perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. 1 o'clock Irish time, 3 o'clock Romanian time. For round 8, I believe.
Yeah, round 8.
Round 8 of the European Championships. You know, hopefully Diana gets a big result tomorrow. We're all rooting for her. So
yeah,
send her support. She needs it.
Yeah, send her something nice on Discord maybe or something. She really appreciates that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very tough game
she
today.
Can bounce back.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Luke. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Patrick, as well. Thanks, guys.
All right. So yeah, that was not the nicest day of games we've ever had. I guess we'll just go raid someone maybe. Anyone you have in mind? Does anybody want someone particular to be raided? Any raid suggestions in the chat? I'm okay. I'm okay, Waterford Wizard. No worries. Yeah, maybe we'll just raid someone small. Let's see who Diana's following. Omid Malek. Or actually, let's raid Tranquilizer. Let's raid Tranquilizer, a friend of Diana's. 20 viewers right now. Wait, no, that's not how you spell it. Let me just quickly check that I spelled it correctly. I guess it's not case sensitive, so this should be okay. We're gonna raid Tranquilizer, say hi to him. Bit of a tough day for Diana, but okay. We'll bounce back. Tomorrow's another round, another chance. All's gonna be okay. And yeah, maybe send her some nice things on Discord. Send her your support. She really appreciates everybody's support always. I'm not sure yet. Well, maybe we can talk about it tomorrow, if it was such move. But yeah, I can. I'll just send you over to Tranquilizer, and you'll hear. Actually, oh no, wait, that's not the right thing. I mistyped that one. I guess it's /raid like this. Okay, so I'll send you over to Tranquilizer, say hi. I'll see you guys back tomorrow for round 8. Hopefully with a better result. A game where Diana gets to show some of her attacking skills. Today went a little bit wrong, but okay, it happens. And yeah. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.